Hello and welcome to our daily sketching routine. It is Monday, April 7th, 2025, and today's topic will be a continuation of the deep dive into perspective. So I'm going to call it drawing perspective, but focusing on 2-point and 3-point perspective. There's two other videos, I'll link to them. Basically, I don't even want to say that this is my approach, although it is. In the sense that these concepts, there's a lot of tutorials and there's a lot of books that explain sort of the more technical details and where you sit down with like rulers and stuff and draw all of that stuff. But basically, like, I don't really do that is kind of my point. Although when you practice, like, that's kind of how you start out doing. So in these examples, I'm just going to use like a blue pen, and then I can go in with a marker, and you don't always have to do like straight edges, although it can look good. It depends on the style and like the look you're going for. But yeah, let's just get started. But before we do, welcome back if you're returning, and welcome if you're new to the channel. I sketch and post every day, and I use a timer to stay focused and to build a habit. I'll start a 10-minute timer. And yeah, let's just start with the basics. And I've been drawing these sort of medieval or Victorian looking buildings. Kind of made up. But so yeah, the other two videos explains more of the terms that I'll be using. But one thing that does help if you are, I think just in general, but if you're learning, is definitely understand like the horizon line, just to start with, just to warm up with. We'll kind of go over that. In the other videos, I kind of drew like a composition, but you can also have something like this. So the idea of composition, the idea of proportion, and the idea of perspective, I guess you can call those like the art fundamentals. They come up a lot to begin with. So let's say like this is the horizon, and I was talking about how that's kind of where the camera like is actually located. In yesterday's video, I've mainly talked about like the 1-point perspective. So it just kind of goes like this. They tend to go to the horizon. The vanishing points. So it's basically like 1 point. And you can have 1 or 2 or 3. I think you could have multiple ones. We'll see. I mean, some of this is just a lot of this perspective kind of ideas. You'll see if you draw it. It's like the main thing. So let's say I go, let's change the shape of this a little bit. And so this side could go that way. But then we'll have this side go kind of over here. So eventually it'll meet kind of like over here somewhere. So it could still work. So this is sort of parallel right here. But then this side is going towards the horizon. Now I say things like it could still work because in practice I draw sort of freehand like this, rather than sitting down with like a ruler. But then later you can go in and like make it straight edge. Plus, if you're also doing it digitally, you can just do like straight edges. So this one is below the horizon, and so you can have it go this way. So one is, let's just, for simplicity's sake for now, let's just have it, the edge be right here, and it could be going towards somewhere over here. So yeah, I don't really need to like draw the straight edge if I'm sketching it. And then this one could be going somewhere off over here. So let's say that this is the panel, if you will. Then it could be somewhere over here, or it should go towards the horizon. So it'll meet somewhere over there, and that could still work. And then because it's below, you also have kind of a little bit of the top. So we'll just draw some different objects here, kind of like this. So the top part's going to be a little bit, I mean, they could have a roof. So that's like the top, but like if there's a roof, it would still cross the horizon, and so it would be like that. Now, these lines can just be parallel, but then this has to go towards the, it has to go towards the same vanishing point. So I'll do some straight lines, and then I'll skip through this part. Hopefully you can see that if it helps, you can just go ahead and draw the vanishing points. Like, I find that with enough practice, you don't always have to do that. You can just kind of look. And then also, if it helps, or if it's part of like the look you're going for, you can do like the straight edge. Also, if you are drawing from a photo, it might be good to kind of play around with the basic shapes. And then if you're drawing from life, for example, you'll find that these are like, once you kind of establish the important lines, then you can kind of freehand the rest of it. So I'm going to do this. So once I get this and this one, like, I pretty much know like where the vanishing points are going to. If I want to keep everything in perspective, then it's just a matter of keeping the lines relative. So like kind of like that, because a lot of times, like the way that I draw stuff, I'm not going to straight edge like everything, but sometimes it's still good to know the perspective, like this. So as long as you just keep everything going to like the same vanishing point, it should look okay. So it is following the rules of perspective. The other thing is, like, to get that angle. So it's coming from, so this is straight. So if this were to angle like the building, then you'd have like a 3-point, which I guess we'll do that today. We'll do 2-point first. So you can keep everything parallel this way. And then whatever angle, let's say you, like this is the top and the bottom there, like whatever angle that was, it's the same thing. It would have it would still go to the same vanishing point right here, like as that. It's going that way. I'm just keeping it kind of clean looking. You can have it stick out from the building because that's sort of what that looks like. And a lot of times roofs are going to stick over the building. Kind of go like that. And usually that looks fine. So hopefully that helps. So to move on to like the 3-point, and there's more to it, obviously. There's like how to change like the shapes up and everything, and I'll go over that kind of stuff in other videos. So sometimes you can kind of start it like this, But let's say you just kind of want to do like a 3-point just to see. So if you have kind of what I was saying over there, like if you have some vanishing points that kind of go like this towards something up here, let's just keep it as a box again. That's probably the simplest thing. And then you can have a line go like this. So these are going up here. You got lines going this way. And then lines going somewhere over here. I'm just going to see what happens. So that's kind of how you get that look. Because a lot of times when I'm doing a drawing, I'm mainly I'm drawing something. So here I'm just kind of drawing the perspective, and then it sort of looks like something. So you can maybe, again, just extend some things. So let's just see what happens. See if something gets created here. Yeah, you can kind of extend the building. So it looks like the horizon is down here somewhere. And I guess the 3-point is, you could have like vanishing points going up, upwards. So if you do it this way, since the horizon is down here, because these are going like somewhere over here, like down towards the horizon, that means that, let's say you draw a box right here, then that'll have to go to that horizon line, or vanishing point. So, because you're seeing underneath it. So this one would be same thing. Like it would have to look like it's going towards that vanishing point. Yeah. And some of this you just kind of have to play around with. So like this, for example, like this side right here has to look like it's going like to the same vanishing point. Same with this. So it starts to get more extreme. You could have something kind of come out this way. So same thing, that has to go that way, and then it has to go that way. So I'll just kind of outline it to kind of show you. I'll fast forward through the ruler part. So these are like the important lines. Again, if it looks pretty close, it'll usually be alright. Like it takes some practice. Oops. So just want to outline sort of the lines that make it look like. So although I freehanded it and like it was off, I'm just gonna make it look correct at this part. And again, it depends on how you want to draw it. I mean, like this works for me. So these are the lines that will give you the perspective. So that's the basics of it. So like if you can see underneath something, it has to go that way. has to go towards that same horizon line. And for this one, I think it's just going towards a vanishing point that it converges at some point. You could have another building, because the building is, so I'll sketch that in real quick so you can see. So that's like the 3 point, and there's more, there's like 4 or like 5 and all that. I don't really mess around with that, so that'll usually work. You could have, just kind of in the same scene, you could have another building go into like a different vanishing point, and kind of like that, and then again the horizon, you can eyeball it. They don't have to go to the same vanishing point, but they should go to the same horizon line. Somewhere like over there. So this is like a cityscape. And of course you can look at pictures and then keep these ideas in mind. So hopefully that was helpful. That's the basics of it. The way I tend to do stuff is I'll just kind of make up things, or if I see something, I'll just kind of simplify it anyway and then add details depending on what I'm working on. I think in the next one I'll kind of talk about like how to place figures in it. But yeah, tune in tomorrow for that. But that'll be it for now. I want to thank you for joining me for our daily sketching routine. Let me know if you have any questions, and if you do like these videos, please support the channel. I appreciate it, and until next time, keep on sketching.